Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. This is going to be a lightning round. If you guys can't hear me or something, please put that in the message section so that I know. Can't see the screen. Okay. Can we see it now? Here's hoping. Always takes me a quick minute to get organized. So this is going to be a lightning round presentation today. I'm introducing you to our QA Fusion machine QA side of things. And really what we're talking about today is the first component of that, which is QA Pilot. The idea with QA Fusion is that we are bringing our products more and more together, integrating them more and more. But QA Pilot is your QA hub, so this is a place where we take a look at what that could potentially mean for you. Okay, I did not want to start showing that, but okay. So what does that mean? Okay, So first of all, I just wanted to go through a little bit about standard imaging. Most of you probably already know, but just in case you don't, we're based in Middleton, Wisconsin. In the heat of the summer, I wanted to show you our snow because now I need to feel a little bit cooler than I do. We were founded just over 30 years ago, and from our humble beginnings of well chamber electrometer, we now are a global leader in the design and manufacture of a full range of medical physics QA solutions, whether that be machine, patient, brachy, stereotactic, we got it for you, let me tell you. And just a little bit about me. So I've been with Standard Imaging for 15 years, nearly all of that in sales, but I am now part of our product management team. My portfolio includes obviously QA Pilot, but also our stereotactic Phantoms, our QA Stereo Checker, which was mainly designed with CyberKnife in mind, but we're expanding that to Linac for filmless QA, and the brachytherapy portfolio. And just as a side note, my hobby is making kaleidoscopes. So very cool. So QA Pilot makes it easy for your facility to manage your radiation therapy QA. How do we actually do that? We help you gain efficiency, streamlining communication, and standardizing operations to fit your needs. Security, it is a web-based application. We use Amazon Web Service for data storage. It's a great service, 99.999% guaranteed uptime, triple encryption. We've never had even any inkling of any issues ever. Compliance, we help you make it simple to demonstrate your compliance to regulations, laws, procedures, by putting all of your data and document at your fingertips within QA Pilot. Accountability, of course, this all helps make oversight and review effortless. We give you plenty of dashboard summaries. You can utilize the email messaging within the product, trending and reporting. And we are vendor neutral. And when I say that, it is above and beyond the level of Linac manufacturers. But it is also, while we would love you to have only standard imaging devices, we know that's not the real world you all live and work in. So we do support a variety of other QA vendors' products, mainly for daily, some for monthly QA. And we're expanding that as our customer base requests it. So QA Pilot, software as a service, what does that actually mean for your facility? It means lower entry costs, no large capital investment for a software product. It is priced per room, and we do have a variety of them. As part of the QA Fusion launch, we are offering special pricing for QA Pilot PIPS Probe packages, making it simple with a single line item to order. And that package actually sets you up for 5 years of success with maintenance included in there. So generally, you'll also have lower maintenance costs because you're not in, it's software as a service. So there's a minimal footprint. It reduces time and expense in software installation and updates. In fact, QA pilot updates are done automatically on an extremely frequent basis, given our dedicated team working on this product. So you have lower hardware costs. Of course, you're not looking at laptops or servers or computers with advanced graphics or calculational abilities. It's scalable, whether you are a single Linux-centered standalone clinic today or your multi-institutional group. We're there to serve your needs. And of course, as you grow, we are here to grow with you, adding a second Linux, or you're opening a satellite site, or whatever the case may be. And we really help you as we are all striving to do better every day. This is QA Pilot is certainly a product that helps you achieve some of the streamlined operational training. We help you improve communications throughout your organization through HIPAA compliant web communications. We have incidents and machine logs, lots of things to help you collaborate and coordinate with your teams. So what can QA Pilot do for you? From the long list of things that you have to do, QA Pilot really is here to help you with a lot of things to manage in your department, not just a question of being your equipment hub or this just tells me what QA needs to be done, but there's also integrated tools that help, again, with departmental communication. And in this day and age, we're in the 100+ day of working from home, working remotely. We are all looking always for ways of being more efficient, and QA Pilot helps you do that. Anywhere you've got your web, your internet service, you can analyze, review, and approve. You can oversee what's going on at a clinical, a group level, a regional level, clinic machines, schedules. You can share documents. You can track what's going on with your machines and devices, and hopefully that is helping you improve your patient safety through the instant learning log. And you can prepare and manage your accreditations. I'm sure that they're trying to do as much of that online as possible as well these days, so that's super important. So let's go in and take a look at the software. And again, this is going to, okay, why are we not getting out? Doesn't want me to do that. I don't know why. So we will go over to 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Nope, that's not what I want. Where? Okay, well, let's go. I don't know why I'm having this problem. Sorry, people. Here we go. So there we go. Hopefully we're out of that. Again, here in the software, we're going to go through the things that I think will help you, show you what's new. So the connections with QA, between QA Pilot and BITS Pro, show you the TG51 worksheet, which is also new, released just this week. And then some of the things that really help you manage and work remotely. So as you saw in my PowerPoint, on the left, you've got a menu. It's very clear with the names of each of these menu items, what you're going through. You're working through your schedules. Here's what we have on the page. It is, of course, based on what type of user you are, what user role you have been assigned, and what Linux and centers that you have been assigned to. You will only see what is relevant to you. So that right there is great. If you're more of a chief physicist or a regional director, administrator, you of course can see everything that's important to you. Right from this front, you can perform, you can view reports, you can also view trending. I'm skipping over it because we're going fast. As a physicist, you're probably going to come in and spend time in the review page. This is almost your home page. Something nice to note about QA Pilot is we have dashboards and lots of ways to filter through there to get to the meat of the gist of the information that you're looking for. It lets you know, of course, what's in progress, what's past, what may need some action. And on this review page, you also have what are open machine logs. And again, machine logs can be for a device. I sent in my daily QA3 for maintenance or service. It could be something went down on my Linux. So multiple things you can check there. Of course, you can go into reports. And one thing I just wanted to show you very quickly. So for example, Here, the very first one is one of those TG51 worksheets. You set up a lot of the information under the equipment, what type of electrometer, ion chamber do they apply to TG51. If it's your chamber, you're setting up diameter, materials, those types of things. On the LINAC level, you're setting up your energies and are you using SSD or SAD. And then you basically have these worksheets. Some of this information automatically pulls in when you select your detector of choice, your electrometer of choice. It certainly fills in sort of information on your SAD field size that you set up under the machine. Your temperature and pressure, of course, you're taking that yourself. It'll calculate these values here, your electrometer readings. Then you have your calculated dose, and if you had to make an adjustment at the machine and you retook your reading to make sure that you're within a tolerance that you were expecting. So, quick overview of that. I did want to go back to one other report, though, to sort of highlight what I mean by vendor neutrality. I believe it's this one. So here we're looking at a profiler report. So that's Sun Nuclear's profiler. It doesn't have a database, so we parse their reports. There's a couple different ways to do that. And again, it gives you a way to track and trend that information under your QA umbrella of QA Pilot. That's just one example. Of course, as a to get to the point where you have schedules that are being performed, you do have a manage section. Again, your sites and machines. You get a summary page of what's going on there. Device measurement devices. Again, this is awesome. It's another quick dashboard review. The thing to really pay attention to here is this next event column. That lets you know what's coming up for a specific device. If it's in red, it means it's overdue. You can click on it and see what that might be. In this case, it's a calibration that'll be due. Note that you can add, update your calibration information, attach a report. You can also add machine calibration information in here. The other thing I want to highlight, because we're all about efficiency and we want you to gain efficiency, when you're creating those templates, you'll notice, and this is a very long list of things we've created, but down here at the bottom, you have a selection of them that are called presets. And you have those TG51 spreadsheets. Those come automatically with the product. They are your starting point. You can view the tests that are in there and you can copy these presets, but you cannot edit the presets. They are what come by definition with the software. Now, if I wanted to modify a template, because I've been up here, I started with a preset, by the way. And if I want to modify it, the other thing that's great about this software is we've taken a look at every table in TG51. So on the left, you have a list of available tests. They are grouped by different things. And on the right, you have the test that you have selected for this particular template, which is a schedule. It converts into what's called a schedule, which will then be performed on whatever basis you wish it to have. If you select a section, it'll take all of the tests. If you only select an individual item, it'll take the individual item. And again, this is an incredibly flexible program in that you can choose, it's not trying to fit that square peg in a round hole. Each center we recognize has its own workflow. So within a group of tests, you can rearrange them within the group, or you can also choose, I want to do this before I want to do this before I do that. So I'm going to move this whole section of tests. That is really helpful and wonderful for you to be able to do that. So it really fits what's going on in your department. Actually, back into review, I do want to show you one more thing here, which, as I mentioned, one of the newer things is our TG50, not TG51, but the PIPS Pro connection. And that is something that is in here as well. Probably actually easier to go into reports, see what I was doing. So I did my Imager QA only. It's in process. Let's just click on that and take a quick look at what that looks like. So within the software, you do not have to have QA Pilot open to download dashboard view results from from PIPS Pro. You get your pass alert failure messages in here. You get to add comments, but you can actually bring in those PDF reports. So you sort of have a report within a report, but all of that detail in one location. Again, if you have something like auditors that need to review, or you want to get a team together to review, or just you individually, you know, whoever's performing the QA can make sure that those things are brought in as well. And you have all the information you need in one spot. This is the type of thing that's really important, again, working remotely or with talking about doing audits, as much of that virtually as you can. We have this document section. Now, remember I said that you are assigned a user role and there are rights associated with those roles. We even have a role that is a guest, so an auditor, and an auditor can only see reports and documents. So in the document section here, you'll notice we have a variety of types. It can be a PDF, it can be an image, it can be an Excel spreadsheet, it can be any type of document that you want to upload here. We give it a type. You know, what does this concern? You can tag things so you can easily use filters to sort through this to get just the information you're looking for. Notice that we also have versions. If you want information about what version is here, this is an important way of being able to show auditors that you're keeping your documents relevant and current. And we allow you access only to the most current document that you have, the current version, I should say, of the document that you have within this area, because you would not want somebody to inadvertently use an old form or an old procedure. So those are things that you would have to access through our customer support, because we've got it there for your audit trail. But for the user, you want only access to what's current and relevant. Now, how do we help you communicate with your team if there's a new version? Well, if you click on the little people over here, we say, do we want require sign-offs on this? And if you do, it brings you into a real easy place to say, okay, I want the therapist to take a look at this. This impacts them. When do you want them to sign off on it? Send them a message, and that'll send them an email. And you can and then you can follow up and make sure that it has actually been looked at by the various people you've assigned it to. You can assign it by center. You can assign it by role. Multiple roles if you so desire. Again, a great communication tool. Stay on top of things. Everybody knows what's going on. Another thing that's really good for understanding what's going on, especially if you're a group, for any group of tests or individual tests that are performed given the same name and same frequency, if they are done, I don't have much here, but any group of tests done within this across Linux or across Linux at different centers, done it at this particular, output at this particular energy, you're going to get some mean, median, standard deviation, minimum, maximum values, which would let you know, okay, within our group, it looks like all our true beams seem to be functioning very well. Or we've got one that looks like maybe it's not functioning, or you have suspicions about what's going on with your machine. You can even compare it to others and go, yeah, I don't seem to have, I'm not within the same range, and it allows you to investigate a little bit further. Another thing that's really important in here is, we're going to go back into manage to show it here first, but the machine log area, like I mentioned earlier, this isn't just about the Linux, but it can be about your devices as well. Notice in here we have standard imaging set up as well as Varian. As long as you're putting in an email here, when you actually enter something, create a new machine log incident, if you will, you have the ability then to say, okay, email that vendor, and it'll automatically shoot an email off to standard imaging or Varian to say, hey, I've got a problem, contact me, kind of thing. So that is actually really interesting. You can also note that you can have equipment that may be across the whole center. So we have 3 Linux and we're all using ARIA. So maybe there's something went wrong there. So it can be added at the site level, and it can be set, or you can set it up at the equipment level. This device is associated with this particular machine. So what does that mean when you're actually going in? Because from this blue menu is where you're going to be doing all of your actions. My mouse is not cooperating today. When did it occur? Where did it happen? I added a custom field. You can do that in the management section. Doesn't apply in this case. An opportunity to write as much information as you need to about what's going on. You can attach a document, and down here you note whether the machine is down and whether you want to notify the vendor. If you click yes and there's an email associated with that vendor, it will shoot off that email. It's important here to notice that you get another dashboard view, everything that's happened with our machines. And again, when you're in your review page in the morning, you know what is open versus what is closed. This is an important thing to process improvement, stay on top of things if you're not in the office as much as you normally or you used to be. And there's a new normal, I guess. It's a way for you to keep track of what the heck's going on. The incident learning functions exactly the same way as the machine log. It's got the same look and feel as you see here, but of course this is the yay, we caught it before it actually impacted a patient's treatment. But again, you're going to want to put a description in here, and this is all about process improvement. And at the end of the day, if we aren't working to be better every day, then what are we doing? It's important for patient safety, for patient outcomes, that we really are paying attention to our processes and whether they're actually working for us or against us, as the case may be. This may be the kind of thing that you review quarterly. And again, you have a list of what's been recorded. And say quarterly, you've got something that comes up and it came up 6 times, the same type. You might want to give it a classification, what type of error it is. And you can say, we've had this error 6 times in the past quarter. We got to do something to do better. You can have the opportunity to implement some changes, whether it be change the workflow a little bit, update a form that's being used, anything that'll help with that. And then the next quarter you can review. And based on those results, you can say, okay, it looks like we're on the right track. Let's keep monitoring it. Or it's like, oh dear, we did as bad this quarter as we did last quarter. Why would that be? Maybe there are other things we need to improve instead. These are things that really matter so that we're staying in communication. We're doing the best we can to do the best for our patients. So, that was a heck of a lot of information. Hopefully it was good information for you. I will double check to see here if we ortho voltage QA, I see is a question here. Whoops, I think I clicked it away. So because we have not only the templates for typical Linux, like I said, you can also set up an HDR or CT room. You can set up other rooms as well. It's going to be based on licensing. You're going to have to reach out to our customer care. And to support that kind of thing, you're probably going to live in custom tests because we don't have templates for those. We will certainly work through that with you on what it is that you can create. We have a bunch of them that have already been created. I'll just say I'm going to add a test here. This is a place where you name them, subname them, what types of tests. You can have numeric, pass, fail, a ratio. The file attachment, you can add an image, you can add a PDF document, and like you saw in that report for PIPS Pro, you can report it right in line with the rest of your QA report, or you can just have it as a thumbnail within that report. So we do have people using 1, 2, 3. Like we have a user that's using a census system. We have other people with some of the more unique types of things. Basically, we're probably going to have to get those set up as custom tests for you. But yes, of course, you would want to track those things in here. I will say that the thing I've showed you, TG51 and the PIPS Pro connection are the new things. But the next things that are coming up are some calculation ability within those custom tests. So I'm not seeing any other questions there. I'm going to very quickly hop back over to here to say, whew, wow, that was fast. QA Fusion Part 2 is going to be presented by my colleague Hugh Peterson tomorrow. Same time, same place, so to speak, at 2:05. Certainly sign up for that if you haven't. It's important to see what you can get. from utilizing that software as well. And otherwise, we do have a variety of ways for you to see more information. If you're attending AAPM Comp, please visit our virtual booth. We have lots of information there. You can also schedule an appointment. You can schedule an appointment with a regional account manager via our virtual booth. If you're not attending AAPM Comp, thank you for being here today. You can visit our website to schedule a much more in-depth review of QA Pilot and QA Fusion, what that will do for you. I also invite you to check out a few of our previously recorded webinars. The first one there listed is on small field dosimetry, presented by my colleague Shannon Holmes, a PhD physicist and product manager. It's very in-depth and very, it's a very, very good presentation. The second one is on Adaptivo, because again, today I talked about machine QA. If you're looking for patient QA, we certainly have an excellent software solution for that. And the last one there is a little bit more in-depth, my last recorded webinar on QA Pilot. But if you're interested, you want to get organized, you want to stay independent, you want something that's going to cover a variety of devices that you have, I certainly absolutely encourage you to reach out to myself or your regional account manager and get further information, because we did what we could in a very, very short amount of time. So since I am not seeing any other questions, I'm going to say thank you ever so much for being here today. It was lovely. And I am recording this. If it's halfway decent, we will send it out. So thanks again. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.